Good morning. It is June 24th, 2019, the year of our Lord. Got a little vinyl vibe starting for y'all. It's me and Bobby McGee, but this one's by Willie Nelson and Kristofferson. Check it out. Good, man. Just out here recording my podcast. I've been trying to go live a little bit more. So that's what I'm doing. I normally start off, if you've ever listened to the podcast, it's on iTunes. It's called the Original Gordito Podcast. And yeah, you can actually hear it on iTunes. And normally what I do is I actually start it off. I play a song from one of my record collection. And I just picked up some new records from my friends out in Victoria. I did a show out there called at Rosebuds Records and Grill. And they always hook me up with a few new vinyl. So whenever I go out there. So I start the show off with that. Gives it a little get people in the mood. Gets me in the mood. The mindset that I'm trying to be at. How you doing? How you been, man? How's New Mexico? Hot as shit, but not as humid as here, man. I'm trying to get back out there and shit. Let's see. I just got my laptop fixed too, so trying to get a little more technical with it. I'm not ignoring y'all. I just got to do the podcast, and then I'll check in with y'all every few minutes here. So if you got questions or if you got comments, you can drop those. What you need to do. We are on Instagram live right now at Hobby Luna Comedy. I am gonna start going live every Monday morning when I record the podcast, so that way the listeners, if you want to hear the intro part, the part where it's just me solo talking about bullshit, you can do that. You can chime in and ask questions or comments and actually kind of be part of the podcast, and hopefully as I build my my little work area, you see all this mess back here. Those of y'all watching, it's all been condensed into one corner. Everything that was in that old studio that's now the baby's room is now over here. So I'm gonna try to position it so where those watching, you can only see like a little bit of my blank bulletin board up there, because just started a new project this week. So the old project came down, the new one goes up. Pretty excited about that. I'm submitting some writing submissions to some pretty big projects, and who knows with that. But good morning to you, those of you that are listening on the podcast. Good morning to y'all. Welcome. If you're I'm gonna try to get some of this video up on YouTube also now. I'm trying to do more with the podcast and be a little more active. I've been kind of lazy with it, and I definitely surround yourself with people that do more than you, because they make you want to do a little bit more. And I got a lot of friends that are just hitting this podcast shit really hard. And I love what they're doing. Josh Cabaza and George Anthony over at the Willful Ignorance podcast in San Antonio. I've had the pleasure of being a guest on there, and they're doing great. And they're putting out videos now, and they do some stuff with animation. And of course, my skill level is not there, but it makes me want to do more. I last week I was on the So Taco podcast, and got to see what they're doing in their little home studio, and let me know. I could definitely be doing a little bit more. So and that's kind of what this podcast has been. It's just kind of been a growth, a period of growth. When we started out, it was basically just me talking into my phone. We finally got the mixer set up, and I finally got my laptop fixed. I had this old, it's not old, it's actually my wife's Beats laptop. HP, and it's a good laptop. But apparently, I work it kind of hard, and it started overheating. Oh, I'd say almost 2 years ago. And anytime I would do a video, that's why doing videos would take me so fucking long, because I would actually have to take ice packs like the ones you put on your forehead when you got a fever, and I would put them on the laptop while I was working to kind of keep it cool, because even like I bought one of those external cool mats, and even that wasn't doing shit for it. And even one time I put, it's probably dumb, those of y'all that know computers, it was so hot, I put it in the freezer for like 5 minutes, and then I think it got some like ice chunks on the fan or something, because then the fan bent, and then every time I cranked up the computer, you would just hear it clacking against the case, and you could just hear, you know, and so I finally got it fixed. I finally said, okay, you know what, let me, I got hit up at like $100, and Rapid Tech, shout out to Rapid Tech here in Corpus. He ordered the part. I contacted him last Monday. He ordered the part. It got here on Saturday. I went and dropped it off. Went to go have some lunch and do some bullshit with the wife, looking for a scavenger hunt. One of the radio stations is running, and by the time I knew it, he called me that the laptop was ready to be picked up and to be used. And I've been running this thing ever since, because I'm skeptical anytime I get new work done by somebody. So I came home and I didn't have anything to work on. I just started pulling up old videos and started editing shit just because I wanted to see. And I don't even use the cool mat anymore. So now I'm able to record directly to this laptop into Adobe, and that's where hopefully I'll be able to drop the video in. Lots of high hopes. Let me check in with the Instagram real quick. I got my buddy DJ Chaos out from Albuquerque, right? That's where you're at in Burque. Good. I should have read that first. So he was in Albuquerque. He's up in Farmington now, running his own Verizon stores and working on some music, and watching his kid grow. That's what it's all about, man. Farmington. I'm not familiar with Farmington. I'm assuming it's still in New Mexico. If you're in the Farmington area, all my Farmington, New Mexico fans, go see DJ Chaos over at his Verizon store, and then listen to some of those tasty mixes he's been doing. Roberto Rodriguez, another part of the Latin Comedy Jam fan. Thank you for checking in, for watching for a minute. But yeah, so I got the laptop fixed. So trying to do more stuff with the podcast. So thank y'all for those of y'all that have just kind of been. We're 20 episodes in now, and I feel like the last 10 episodes or so we've kind of started to hit a stride, and that's good. It's a good place for us to be. I hope y'all are having fun. The guest thing, I don't want to just bring y'all any guests. I try to bring y'all guests on that I know that I have fun conversations with, because that's what I'm trying to give y'all, man. Y'all like those of y'all watching. Y'all like the Whataburger hat. I've actually been getting a lot of bro dude compliments on it, because it's not really, it's not a snapback. It's a Velcro back. You can hear that. That's the hat, and it's a red, white, and blue Whataburger cap, Captain America style. And I fucked it up now, I think, but that's how big my head is. It's off center. I gotta wear it half cocked to the side if I want the Whataburger to be level. But yeah, it's a red, white, and blue Whataburger cap with a Velcro back. And I'm repping it, man. I'm wearing it. At first, I was like, I know, because she got it for me during the week when Whataburger announced that they had sold over 50% of their company to a Chicago-based investment firm, in order to get more capital to expand. They're gonna try to be a national burger chain instead of just a Texas chain, and I'm not gonna lie, man. I know we got made fun of, and a lot of people were like, uh, why is everyone crying? It's just a hamburger, and you're right, it is just a hamburger, and they're good. They're sometimes they're really good, sometimes they're just okay. I've never really had a bad Whataburger, which is I think is goes to say a lot for fast food. And so when they announced that they're gonna go national, I I got hit emotionally because a little bit because there's kind of like some state pride there. Like first of all, I'm from Corpus, which is where the burger chain started, and then when it went statewide, there was a lot of local pride. Like, yeah, everyone's digging this shit. It's dope. It came from us. It's kind of like someone from here made it, even though it was a business. And then it became like a statewide thing. Like, fuck yeah, Texas Whataburger. You can only get it, here, and then they started doing Florida, and I think they got some in New Mexico. They got a couple other places, mostly in the Southwest, and then over in Florida. Uh, but that's still not national. They were still concentrated in Texas, and it was very much a Texas thing. And I think that was for people that moved out of state. That was kind of the fun part for them to get to come back, and it was a special treat. And here's the thing I know about restaurants: the quality diminishes the further away from where you get from where it originated. You know what I'm saying? Because there's no frame of reference. Like Popeyes. Like I remember when the Popeyes in Louisiana. I went to school one summer. I was up in Notre Dame, and the one of the other people in the program was this girl, and she was from New Orleans, from Xavier University, and she was just kept going on and on about how she missed Popeyes and missed Popeyes. I'm like, Popeyes is good. I don't know if I would like trip over not being able to eat Popeyes for 2 months though. I could easily go like 4 or 5, maybe even 6 months without eating some Popeyes. But she loved it, and she was explaining to me. She goes, and then we finally drove 3 towns over because there's no Popeyes in Indiana. A bunch of white people. It's probably too spicy for them. We finally drove 3 towns over and got her some Popeyes, and she said it didn't taste the same. And I get it. Like, I only eat Taco Cabana in San Antonio because that's where it tastes best. And if you like Bill Miller's barbecue, I don't really eat it in Corpus either. I eat that in San Antonio because for some reason it tastes better where it's from. So this is my concern. We've been hyping Whataburger up so much to everybody, right? Like, and we get made fun of it. Like other states like mock us, like because we're obsessed with a hamburger, and I get it because it sounds silly unless you're from here, unless you get it. If you don't get it, you don't get it. And my concern is we've been hyping this up so much, and then it's not gonna be as good as it is here, and we're gonna look dumb, right? People are gonna be like, this is what y'all got tattoos and baseball caps and t-shirts, and now they got tennis shoes. Like, this is what y'all are all fucking excited about. Because some little fucking 17-year-old in Raleigh, North Carolina doesn't know what the fuck a Whataburger is supposed to taste like. So how is it gonna make one properly? You gotta do the shakes, dog. You gotta do 3 shakes. We've already been through this. All right, there's a formula. There's a recipe to nailing down that Whataburger, and I'm just trying to say, Chase over in Cleveland, Ohio, ain't gonna make no Whataburger that tastes like how fucking Angel and Lupe back there on Whataburger on Port and Baldwin, like they fucking throw down. Whataburger spicy ketchup is on point as well. Yeah, the spicy ketchup's just a few years old. I mean, they got quality products, and now they're gonna have to distribute it nationwide. So I get why people are like. I'm not mad at them. I get it. It's a business. They gotta expand. They gotta grow. You know what I'm saying? I get that part. So I'm not like mad at them. I'm concerned. Can I say that? I feel like I'm talking to my kids. You know, I say when a Whataburger, it's not that I'm mad at you. I'm just disappointed. I expected more from you, and I'm worried about you. I'm worried about you getting in with the wrong crowd. Whataburger is what I'm trying to say. All right, but yeah. What else? What else is going on? I checked in with y'all last week after Brouhaha. That was great. Thank you for those of y'all that had never listened to the show and went ahead and checked in and listened for the first time. We appreciate that. We saw the little bump in the numbers, and hopefully you enjoyed the show, and hopefully you're back for another one. Another one. Um, what else? What else? What else? Nothing went on this weekend other than I had a show in Victoria on Friday. A shout out to Bryson Brown and Eric Green. They Bryson from Austin, Eric from Houston. They came through. They did a fucking great show. Everyone had a good time. It was a joking and smoking show, so it was very interesting there. And of course, that was presented by myself, Universal Comedy, and Rosebuds. And then we brought on our sponsor, who helps me make this possible. Takes a lot of the stress out of promoting. The fact that they are willing to sponsor and back this monthly show that I do. So shout out to Stone Supreme Relaxation CBDT. There's no THC in it, so you can sip it and relax guilt free. It's good stuff. You can get their products on iSmoke 365. They just speaking of expansion, they're expanding. They just redesigned their bottle, and they're developing their first line of CBD edibles. So you make sure you go check them out, show them some love, let them know Javi sent you, so that way they can keep hopefully supporting me, because that really helps me get my shows out there a little bit more as far as the finances of putting a tour together goes. So shout out to them, much love. Again, one time, Stone Supreme Relaxation is the brand, the website, ismoke365.com. Speaking of which, I finally got my first online store all set up. It's good to go. It's mainly going to be big and tall stuff. It's called Original Gordito Clothing, very much like the podcast, named after the podcast. And it's going to be topical, funny shirts, basically for big guys. And of course, because it's me, we'll have a little bit of Latino flair to it, and it should be good. The first shirt is up. It's Puro Pinche Panza. It has the OG logo on the back. We have another one that's just the logo. It just says Original Gordito on the front. Doesn't say podcast or anything. And then it has just the OG monito, the O and the G that make the fat guy with the panza and the hat. I don't know if you've ever taken a close look at the logo, but that's what it is. The O and the G make a little panzon, a little gordito there. So got that up. You can go check that out at originalgordito.com and check out the merch, man. And I got all sizes, but right now we go up to 3X. I'm looking for a supplier to make sure I stay in stock with 4 and 5s. It is hard. I get it now. I never got to why it was so hard for how come stores didn't stock those big sizes, but you really gotta hunt them down, especially if you want it to be cost effective. So trying that. What else is on the horizon? It was my baby girl got her ears pierced. So going to be talking about that with the wife on the next segment. We do a Netflix and chat segment where we talk about what we've been watching on Netflix. So we'll bring her on, and we're going to talk about getting the baby's ears pierced and just what's going on with us. And then we're also going to do our review of the entire review of season 1 of Friends from College. We started it off last week, and so we're gonna give you the rest of the review this week. And yeah, so I'm gonna get y'all over to that segment, guys, and I will talk to you in the intro solo. I feel like it's private, just you and us. Uh, I'll talk to you more next week. Peace.
We'll see how it works out.
All right. So, how's it going, Mrs. Luna? How you doing?
I'm good. It's Monday morning, and I'm up.
It is. It's Monday morning. It's still fairly early. We got an early start today.
We did.
No more afternoon podcast.
No.
We started off it was recording Sunday nights.
Yes.
And then we went to recording on Monday morning sometimes to then Monday afternoon. And I was telling them in the first part, I was like, but no more. Stop fucking around. We're doing this podcast now.
We're going to take this serious.
Got the laptop fixed. I could never use this laptop because it would clickety clack, clack, clickety
so
clack,
annoying.
clack, clack. And there's no way to edit that out when you're doing it. So now I'm actually able to use the software that I have on here, because before I've been having to record it straight into Anchor. Nothing against Anchor. It's just there's only so much you can do with it.
Okay.
And here I have a little bit more control as far as what I'm editing, when I'm putting it together. And I can add stuff and take stuff out a lot easier.
Very cool.
On here, and so hopefully you'll see a little jump in the audio quality, but as far as the format of the show, it should run a lot smoother and be all in one file, so that way it's not so broken up and jumpy. So I'm trying
I'm excited
to make the transitions a lot smoother. Right, because that's what life's all about, right? It's all about transitioning. That's what we're striving for. So, how you been? How was your weekend?
It was good.
Good.
I might be a little groggy this morning because I woke up at 6:45 to teach a class.
Oh,
so I still feel a little like I'm not quite awake.
Okay, so you got an earlier start than normal, and then you didn't go back to bed after that.
Which was my plan. I wanted to go right back to sleep, but baby decided she wanted to be awake. And she was ready to play.
But I said I would get up with her.
I know you said you would, but I knew you had work you had to do and everything, so I wanted you to
That's
be able
right.
to
I forgot about that. I totally told you that I would get up, and then you ended up doing it yourself.
Because like I said, I knew you had stuff you had to do. I'm going to just be home all day.
Sure,
I would rather be tired than to have you tired doing all that
Right.
stuff, so...
Right, my Mondays are, I don't say they're busy, but I do feel like Monday is, however you start the week, is how the way the week goes.
Right.
And so this Monday's been pretty smooth. I was able to get up on time. I didn't oversleep. I got my report for one of my jobs in early. I realized I have something scheduled for this afternoon. So thank God I didn't sleep, because then I wouldn't have been able to do this. I would have had to go straight over there.
And then you would have been rushed.
And it's a bad start. So this is much smoother start to the week. Got my reports done. I was able to do the live. I went live for the first 15 minutes of the podcast and got to talk to some people on there. So that's really cool. If you if you're not following me on Instagram at Javi Luna Comedy, you're gonna miss out. I'll do it on Facebook sometimes, but I'm trying to really Instagram. I'm gonna be honest with you guys. Instagram's where the numbers are at. So if and I get it, it's a lot of older people on Facebook, but and so I'll still keep doing stuff on there. But as far as the lives, I'm trying to first increase the amount of times that I go live a week.
Right.
I've been trying to do just little check-ins on I do my patio vibes, and I've been trying to go out there and kind of just fuck around. Really, there's not that. I'm trying to. It's the fact of I watch a lot of people's lives and they don't ever say anything.
Right.
Like of any importance. Not that they're not saying anything, but but it's me trying to get to the point where I can feel comfortable. And I guess it's kind of what the podcast is, but just to do it like they're like, hey guys, I'm at HEB. I'm sitting in the car at HEB waiting for my mom to go, and they're just going live.
But I think people like seeing a glimpse of other people's lives.
Sure.
Even if it is just a little snippet of, oh, I'm outside or I'm at HEB. It's cool to see what other people are doing.
I get that. I could definitely see where that comes into
so explain to me when Facebook became for old people. Wow, I feel real old.
It's not. I don't say for old people because I am.
But you're not the first person that I've heard say this.
I would say probably. Like 3 or 4 years ago, maybe.
Really?
Yeah. Definitely. Once Instagram started really popping, and I mean Facebook owns Instagram.
Okay, I didn't know that.
So yeah, and then once Instagram started with the stories like Snapchat, they blew Snapchat out of the water too.
Well, I knew that one, but I didn't realize it replaced Facebook.
So yeah, people like it because the policing isn't quite on there, and it's visual, and everyone's got short attention spans.
That's true.
You can't post videos longer than a minute. But now they got IGTV, which now you can upload on. I think it's either 10 minutes or unlimited as to the link. So like this will probably go on YouTube, and it'll probably go on IGTV, and it'll let people see the first like minute of it, and then they can decide whether they want to watch the rest of it.
Interesting.
So yeah. I don't know exactly when it started, but that's just what people say. Yeah. It's not just for old people. There's still young people on Facebook. It's just they spend the majority of the time
on Insta.
Right. I feel like Instagram lacks a lot of the political
Most
drama.
Definitely. Yes.
There's a lot less of that.
Drama, period.
Well, there's still drama, but normally it's like a lot personalized.
Well, I guess I'm not seeing the drama on Instagram like
stuff like that. Facebook. There's definitely, I definitely see why it would be a young man's game because there's a lot of hoe shit going on Instagram. You gotta kind of, if that's not what you're into, if you're woke like me and you respect the women and the female form, then. You kind of have to tap dance around that, but I get why a young buck would choose to spend his time on there because there's quite a lot to be perused. A lot of perusing can go on Instagram if that's your thing, if that's what you're into.
That's funny.
I don't follow a lot of Insta thoughts. You've seen my Instagram.
You don't.
I follow a couple celebrities.
Yes, you do.
I follow a couple celebrity thoughts, but I don't just follow like I know dudes are just like, and I'm not gonna call anyone's name out, but I've seen some of my homeboys' Instagrams and they're just following just random thoughts. Like they don't do nothing other than just post ass pics all fucking day.
Oh my god.
I mean, I follow Yannick Garcia. That's the weather girl from Mexico. The one that went viral with the big old booty, the little tiny waist, round thing in your face. You get sprung.
Yeah.
Want to get with you and take your picture. I follow her, but guess what? So does fucking everyone. She's like one of the top 5 or top 10 for Instagram followers in the fucking world.
Really?
Yeah. She's like
just because of her big ass.
No, she's a news reporter in Mexico. She's on a big show in Mexico. She posts a lot of fitness stuff and her workouts, and and she does the modeling, and she's actually kind of wacky, really. Like, so it is kind of like that, getting to see, like, if you watch her live, it's kind of getting to see like another side of her, because if you're just looking at the pictures, you think, oh well, she's just a beautiful woman, and you realize that there's more.
substance.
Right.
Okay.
I follow Bella Thorne just because she's a train wreck. But every once in a while, she does have a nice picture up.
Does she now?
No, sometimes some of the stuff she looks kind of rough in.
She
honestly,
really does.
honestly. But every once in a while, like when she's doing like a music video or whatever, those are some nice photos and stuff. And who else? That's her, Jessalyn.
Yes, that's your favorite.
But she doesn't. She's just funny. Like I'm just insta crushing on her because she was in Working Moms.
Yes.
And she's hilarious.
Look at your face.
She is funny. She's funny. She posts funny stuff and she posts Asian jokes and she cooks. Apparently, I found out this week she's making stew and she responds to my messages.
I know.
When I comment, she always responds. And because she's not big in Instagram. I think she's only got like for having been on as big of a show as she's on, I was surprised to see her only having like 6,000-7,000 followers. Because I know people that work on cars that have 6,000 or 7,000 followers, and for a female, 6,000 or 7,000 for a dude is pretty good.
It's a lot.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I would be so happy with 6,000 followers.
Be like, yes.
But in honesty, there's like 17-year-old girls that have 10,000 followers.
Damn.
It's ridiculous out there. Frankly, a little creepy. But
a little bit.
Yeah. But
I know she's your crush. What's her name again? Jessalyn.
Wanlim.
Yeah,
check her out. Check her out on Instagram if you're on Instagram. I'll put in the. I'm trying to get better with the notes.
Yes.
Also on the description, so you can check it out in there.
Do you know I started following her since you would talk about her post a lot?
Because I would send you. I send you.
You do.
I send you stuff. That I appreciate.
Yeah, and so I started following her, and I did like. She is funny. You're right. I know I'm giving you shit because I know you have a crush on her, but she is funny. When she was sick,
first of all, it's an Insta crush.
But crush, nonetheless.
I don't know her. I don't know nothing about her. I just know what she puts on Instagram.
Okay.
Okay.
You Insta crush her.
Okay.
But it was funny. I was watching her story the other day and she was sick and she's like, I need someone to cook for me, but no one's here. So I got to do it myself. It was funny. She did some funny stuff.
Yeah.
So I see it.
She's fun. And Working Moms got renewed for season 4.
I am
3?
4. I am so excited.
Yeah. But we only watched the first 2, right? Or we watched, because that was all that was on there? Or did we watch?
So I don't think.
So we haven't seen 3.
No, I don't think so.
Okay, so hopefully 3 will get on Netflix soon.
I'm not quite sure. Now I'm not sure.
I don't know.
We'll check it out.
Anyway, getting... Nonetheless, heretofore, moreover, hence, otherwise, other transition phrases that we learned in 7th grade and don't use. No one talks like that. And if you do, you're probably people probably think you're a fucking asshole. That's something like only in writing, like therefore. You can say, I think you can get away with a therefore.
I don't think I use it in conversation, but in writing, yes.
However, I think for sure. Therefore, I think I've used it a couple times, but only when I'm trying to like sound professional. But you're not like talking to people like, and moreover. I do say, old chap. For example.
I do say hence, but I don't say it in conversation. I write it a lot.
Right. Writing is different.
So I think probably however is the only one.
Different. I feel like people write. I think we elevate our vocabulary just like at least a step or two when we write.
I could see that.
You know, if it's something formal, at least.
Yeah. I think I used hence on you a couple of times when we were just...
Hence? Like in text?
In text. And you were like, what?
Why are you dropping hence?
Right.
Yo, look, I don't really understand the words you're using right now. So I'm just gonna have to assume that you talking shit.
I spit out my coffee. I was laughing so hard.
I don't like the way you're talking to me right now because I don't understand all these words. So speaking of which, speaking of people trying to sound smarter than they actually are,
yes,
we finished watching season 1 of Friends from College.
Yes,
and I say that because the whole cast supposedly all went to Harvard. Mm-hmm. And yet they're a bunch of dumbasses.
I wouldn't say that
for the most part. No. One of them's a fucking writer that couldn't figure out how to write a book about a fucking vampire or centaur.
Okay. But not all of them.
And it's like, and so that it was like not believable. I was like, if this guy's that great of a writer, like he would do what because here's the part of the plot line, right? And it's a subplot, right? Mm-hmm. And everything happens is the Keegan Michael Key character, named Ethan.
Yes.
He's a writer, he's a novelist, but he's just trying to write like great literature, and
he's already won awards.
He's already won some awards, but they're not like, okay, let's face it, the shit on the bestsellers list these days for like the last 20-30 years is not good literature. No. It's just entertaining, right? So the fact that you got on the New York bestsellers list doesn't mean that you wrote something great. It means you wrote something that was marketable, that people read, right? They bought.
Yeah, for sure.
Doesn't make it great. So he's one of these writers. And another one of the friends from college, played by Fred Savage, is like his book agent or whatever. And he's telling him, like, you should really consider writing something for the young adult audience. Why they call it YA, right? Which would be your stuff like Hunger Games and Twilight, and they're
fantasy.
And they were trying to do it to Ender's Game, even though Ender's Game's sci-fi, use sci-fi, not YA, and that's when they made the movie, like they kind of YA'd it up. So it's amongst people that are into literature and bibliophiles like myself.
Watch out!
If you see, we got like 4 books right there. I don't know if you saw that.
There's more than 4 books
be reading it. I don't even know what those are probably your books. I don't even know where my books are.
Your books are there too, okay. I think, somewhere.
Okay. There's more down there. Don't be worried about it.
Tons of books.
We be reading and shit. but it's not respected. It's not considered, elevated stuff. So he acted like it was beneath him, and then he couldn't figure out how to fucking write the story. He needed
that's true.
help, and I'm like, okay, that's not believable. If you were this, like you
should have been able to adapt and make it happen.
He would have adapted and make it happen. And the idea that he had was just absurd. And then ended up anyway. So that's what I'm trying to say.
So they're all dumbasses,
right? And then apparently, because the Marianne character,
she's kind of flighty,
and I'm like, she graduated from
it does make you
Harvard
wonder.
in theater, and she's doing a play in a gym.
Yeah,
she's doing a gender bending. It's wacky. Don't get me wrong. It's wacky. It's funny, and I'm not one of those people that I need a little bit of realism. I don't. It doesn't have to be completely believable, but when you're doing a character-driven thing like this, like it has to make some sort of sense to put these characters in this situation. It has to make sense for that world that you've created around them,
right?
And so I don't get why it had to be Harvard. Like, I don't get why that was important to them, because some of these people clearly did not.
Well, I think it's.
So even to be a theater major at Harvard, you would have to be more intelligent than the Marianne character.
She would be the surprise, I think. But like the one guy, Nick, who
The rich guy.
He's
guy. Believable.
Totally believable. Even Fred Savage's character is believable.
Yeah. Yes.
I think
I'll go with him. The interior designer.
Mm-hmm.
The lawyer's believable. Yeah. So
I really think it's just her.
Her and Ethan, to an extent.
Okay. Yeah.
Because he's dumb. Because he's silly. No, on purpose. He's being silly.
Yeah.
He's got maybe about 40% of the funny moments.
Yes. He's the comic relief.
Fred Savage has about another 30, mm-hmm. and then the other 30% split up between the remaining characters. But the stuff that happens is the funny stuff that happens is generally him and Fred Savage.
Mm-hmm. I still don't find him that funny.
Fred?
No, the other guy.
Keegan-Michael Key?
Yeah, I don't. And I know that everyone loves him and thinks he's great. I
don't think he's great. I think they're good.
I don't find him funny.
I thought the Key and Peele show was good for what it was. I mean, it really was just a rip-off of Chappelle's show. I mean, let's be honest about that. You know, he called him out in his special.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah. Chappelle's very vocal about that. He goes, you know, it's really, he talked about it on one of the last two that he put out on Netflix. He goes, you know, every day I get to turn on the TV and see Comedy Central doing another version of my show, the show that I created and the thing is that they didn't want it. He had to push that on that format of stand up and sketch, stand up and sketch, stand up and sketch. Like that was him. Mm-hmm. He created that, and then they did it with then they were like, oh, let's make a Mexican version of it, and they did Carlo Minda Mencia, you know, and then they did Key and Peele, and so now it's just kind of
not standard, but
right, basically, and it's not as far as they stole. It's just the fact is really he created a genre. Mm-hmm. Like that's the way it is now. Before it was just Saturday Night Live. It's just sketch. Just sketch. We just start sketch.
Yeah,
you know. And it's just sketch after sketch after sketch, musical guests and sketch. And he did his musical guests at the very end. He kind of did a couple. He changed it up. Mm-hmm. You know, where he kind of set up the sketch with the joke behind it. Because,
right. Yeah.
And it made sense, especially to comics, because that's the way a lot of us operate now. Sometimes you write a joke and you're like, you know, this would be a good sketch, mm-hmm. or it would be better. Sometimes this isn't for stage. This would be better as a sketch. So that's why I'm surprised a lot more like stand-ups at my level don't do sketch more, because it's like if you have an idea, don't throw it away just because it's not going to be good for stage. Maybe it's good for another avenue. Maybe it's a podcast topic, or maybe it should be a sketch, or maybe it should be a whole movie.
And sketches are so popular right now. You would think more people would.
They are, but they don't like overproduced sketches. Mm-hmm. I've learned, like when I put a lot of effort and production into my sketches, like I feel like those are the ones that do less. People like a lot more. They like the candidness. Mm-hmm. They like me with someone with a phone, shitty lighting.
Yeah,
you know, grainy. It's almost like I'm gonna liken it to the porn industry. No, because everyone's kind of like over with it right now. That's why, you know, Pornhub's offering like $3,800 for like homemade fucking videos.
Really?
Because no one wants the fucking super produced Brazers and whatever the other. You know, Vivid, and I don't even think they're in business anymore. That was like the old porn company from like the 70s and 80s. And yeah, there's a lot less, like, because it's like, oh, the dialogue's cheesy and the acting's bad, and you don't really want or need any of it, you know, so it's just kind of like, let's get down to it,
the nitty gritty,
right? And people, and like you said, people want that glimpse. So I feel like with the sketches, that's why people like Country Wayne, who's just, I mean, even he has the money, he could do a lot more production but really he's just still shooting it on a cell phone. Either holding it himself or having someone.
Yeah.
Look at Eddie B.
Yeah, that's true.
That's super unedited. That's just jump cuts. It's just he has a phone on a tripod, just like we got, and he's just cutting it up.
Boom, boom.
A whole bunch of responses. He's just sitting in there and he's just spitting out a bunch of jokes. What time lunch at? Why do I gotta pay extra for a teacher tray?
It's true though. Why do we have to pay extra? We get the same amount of food. It's true.
See, I could do an Eddie B video.
You could. I like him. He speaks so many truths about being a teacher.
Oh, I know. I get it. Hey, man, I like it. The guy found his. I mean, he went niche, super niche.
Yeah, he did.
But yet not, because there's also like millions and millions of teachers, so he could do that for years, and it's something I like, and it's clean and it's marketable. And
did you hear that he got a show?
He got a show?
Yeah, I don't remember all the specifics, but something
like a
about
sitcom.
Yeah, that he's gonna do a show.
Well, did they say for
okay?
who?
Again, yeah, I don't know all the specifics.
Oh, you can't just be bringing stuff on here. So anyway, while you're looking that up, I'll keep talking about Friends from
please.
college. So Friends from College was, I think the last episode we had only watched the first 3 episodes, and it had kind of just barely started getting good. And I told you that the next 3 episodes would be the fun and games part of it. I felt like this was supposed to be a movie that got made into a series, and at the very next episode, it's like the guy's writing a book. It's a montage. Like this is it. This is Act 2.
Right.
This is the montage, the fun that everyone's doing stuff, and the wacky. This is the wackiness ensues part of the show. You
hit that nail head on. You really did.
Got it. You know what I'm saying?
Because I was like, I'm gonna give it maybe 1-2 more episodes, and then I'm out because this is not for me.
And 2 episodes later in, we're like,
it was
okay,
like,
we're in. Let's finish this.
Exactly.
And then so season 1 overall, I'm giving it a strong 4.
Mm-hmm.
That's my 4 Lunas. We give Lunas on here.
Okay, so I knew coming into this show that it was going to be canceled after season 2.
Spoiler alert! No, okay.
My bad.
It's so that.
So I
right
didn't
away.
want to like it.
Okay.
Because I was like, why am I going to get hooked on something that I'm not going to be able to enjoy for years to come? In my head. So then when it started off the way it started, and I was like, yeah, no go. I don't like this. This isn't for me. But then, like you said, episode 4 and then 5 was even better. Yep. And then now we're on to season 2.
We are watching season 2. Season 2 is okay. As of right now, if I had to give season 2,
well, hold on. Let me give season 1.
Sorry, go ahead.
I'm just saying. So it's built for me. And so then I'm like, okay, I kind of like it better and better. So if I were going to rate season 1 only, I would go 3.5 Lunas.
Okay.
Yes.
3.5 and a 4. So 3.75.
I made the math easy for you today.
Yes, you did.
I didn't do that on purpose, but really, I think it was a solid.
So 3.75 Lunas for season 1 of Friends from College. Season 2, it's at a 3 right now for me.
Well, and we're only halfway through.
We're only halfway through, but I don't think we'll review it anymore.
Yeah.
So for those of y'all, season 1, definitely watch it, and then give season 2 a shot. It might be for you, might not. Thank you to Gerald and Elena for the recommendation on there. And so any other topics that we need to go over as we're starting to wind down here? I was telling them we went to Victoria.
We did. Oh my god! We
did a lot of eating out this weekend.
It was horribly good.
We ate out Friday at Rosebuds.
Yes.
And,
okay, can I just say how much I love their onion rings?
Their onion rings were good.
We
ordered
amazing.
A shitload of fried stuff.
Okay, but I just want to talk about the onion rings.
Okay.
The onion rings were amazing.
Yeah.
And they don't even have them on the menu anymore, but they made them specially for us or whatever. So good.
Like VIP treatment. You know what it is?
They really need to put it back on the menu.
I walk in, say, yo, let me get some onion rings. We don't got those. I was like, excuse me? Excuse me?
No.
Excuse me? You better take your ass down the street, get an onion, chop that bitch up.
No. It was very nice of them to make it for us.
You telling me you got onion back there? Yes, sir, but we don't do. I didn't ask you that. Do you have onion?
Mm-mm.
Yeah. Okay. You got a knife? Yeah. You got flour? You got oil? Well, you better get your ass back there, chop that shit in some rings, drop it in some batter, put it in the oil, fry that shit up. My wife who wants some onion rings. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
That's what we did. You got your onion rings, baby.
Oh,
so
they were
very happy about that.
Yes.
Then we finally went to go try BKK Thai cuisine.
Yeah.
Yeah, Thai kitchen. There you go. I don't know why I said chicken. That shit was good.
So good. We got
tried
the sizzling
two new
beef.
restaurants this week. BKK. You got your sizzling beef, which is basically
like fajitas on
Korean
steroids.
fajitas. Let's be honest, that's what it was.
But they had this
good.
amazing, was it vinegar? And then you
sauce,
put this peanut sauce on top. Yeah. Oh, it was so good.
It was legit. It was legit. No lie there. And then you tried your first crawfish yesterday at
did.
Mudbugs. They're not in season anymore, which you're not supposed to really eat them out of season.
So how is that restaurant going to survive?
They're getting frozen ones. That's why you're not supposed to eat them out of season, because you want
the fresh take.
You want
on
live.
It.
You want to buy them live. When you buy crawfish, they should still be alive. And then
okay,
yeah.
I don't know why they gross me out, because essentially it's the same as shrimp and crab and lobster.
Because they're crustaceans and they are gross looking.
But I love all those other things, and I don't look at them and be like, "Oh, I'm not going to eat that." But for whatever,
most shrimp you buy is already deheaded. Do you eat like prawns?
I have.
And you like those?
And I've been okay.
I don't like prawns. I will not eat a prawn.
And why?
I don't know why. Those look more disgusting to me than crawfish do.
It's so weird. I don't know. It just.
So basically, what I'm trying to say is broccoli and chicken all week, all around. I got it on video. I got it on audio.
Yeah.
All right.
We're gonna eat better all week this week.
Yes. So next week, when you see us next week, we're gonna be like 5 pounds lighter each. Because good Lord, did we eat out this weekend? All right, guys, we're gonna get out of here. You want to say goodbye to everybody, Mrs. Luna?
Bye.
All right, guys, make sure you give us a review on iTunes. Subscribe on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, wherever you're listening. Give us a subscribe and give us a review. We appreciate y'all. We'll see y'all next week. One love.